Hey everyone, I'm Jenna Brew and this is SNN's Headline Rewind. Hang on tight because this is where we're going to recap all of your local and national headlines from the week in 5 minutes or less. You ready? Let's go. Starting out our show with a story that keeps us on our toes literally and figuratively. The highly anticipated Nick Wallenda Daredevil rally made its debut Friday night right here in Sarasota. Get this, it's a drive-in stunt show, the first of its kind. Hundreds flooded Nathan Benderson Park to get a glimpse at the Daredevil's new baby. The show is packed with family-friendly stunt action. Take a look. Wallenda steps over his cousin Blake while performing his iconic high wire act. The showman has plans of taking his performance from coast to coast. And June is otherwise known as Pride Month for members of the LGBTQ communities and their allies. And Project Pride, a new nonprofit in Sarasota, hopes to bring the LGBTQ community across the Suncoast together. The week-long festivities kicked off Thursday with a live-stream concert. Florida Highway Patrol says to hit the gator if you ever find yourself in this situation. Pretty strong words for the wild encounter turned tragedy a 20-year-old man faced driving back from Mayaca City. And by wild encounter, I mean a large alligator in the middle of the roadway. The driver swerved to avoid the gator, resulting in a crash which killed the 23-year-old passenger which was riding alongside him. The crash is still under investigation. State Trooper Ken Watson says you need to pay extra attention when driving in areas which animals frequent. And now we know many businesses are struggling hard during the coronavirus pandemic, while others, put it simply, can't relate. Shoot Straight Gun Store and Range in Sarasota remained open during the statewide shutdown. The owner says the business has been booming since the beginning of March. Lines are out the door due to limiting capacity to 25 people, which the owner says is simply them following fire code, a problem they never had prior to COVID-19. SNN reached out to Shoot Straight's corporate office to verify that information, and we're still waiting on a response. Lastly, the nation mourned the death of George Floyd this week together with his family and friends. SNN aired the funeral in its entirety. Floyd died back on May 25th in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and his death sparking a call to change against racial injustice and police brutality, which is now bubbling over into 20 straight days of protest and civil unrest, including outrage over the officer-involved shooting death of Rayshard Brooks in a Wendy's parking lot in Atlanta, Georgia last Friday. That Wendy's now completely charred after protesters set it on fire. Brooks' case remains under investigation. Okay, well that does it for this edition of SNN's Headline Rewind. Well, what did you think? Full versions of all these stories can be found on SNNTV.com, but most importantly, don't forget to follow us on social media for news updates as they happen. Also, what do you guys think about our background? Shout out to the Kavanaugh family for sending it in. So do you have a Suncoast photo that you want showcased? Email it to us for a chance to be featured at news@SNNTV.com. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Jenna Brew, and we'll see you back here next week for another Headline Rewind.